Hey, guess what? Bad news in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia executes a record 81 people in one day for terrorism-related offenses. Now, remember, it's Putin is the one you're supposed to hate. They killed Khashoggi, the journalist. They never did anything to them. Now, just so you know, Saudi Arabia executes record 81 people in one day for terrorism. Executed, beheads them. Joe Biden, in departure from Obama policy, says he would make Saudi Arabia a pariah. That's when he was running for president, 2019. He would make Saudi Arabia a pariah for killing.
not a pariah, a pal. They're going to be our pal.
I'm not a pariah, man. I'm talking about. Come on, man. Come on. So here we go. Anniversary of Jamal Khashoggi's murder statement by Vice President Joe Biden. So Jamal Khashoggi and his loved ones deserved accountability. Under a Biden-Harris administration, we will reassess our relationship with the kingdom and United States support for Saudi Arabia's war in Yemen and make sure America does not check its values at the door to sell arms or buy oil. He's not doing any of that. In fact, he's doing the exact opposite of all of it. Isn't that fantastic? Isn't that great?
What has he not done the opposite of? Honestly, I'm asking, like, what things has he done that are not exactly the opposite of? I guess he got out of Afghanistan.
But he didn't. That's not mentioned in here. Everything that's mentioned in here did the exact opposite.
I know.
I will defend the right of activists, political dissidents, and journalists around the world to speak their minds freely without fear of persecution and violence. Jamal's death will not be in vain, and we owe it to his memory to fight for a more just and free world. So, you know, Joe Biden's just as big as shit, full of shit as Donald Trump ever could be on his best day. Just so you know that. Wow. Analysis. Biden retreats from vow to make pariah of Saudis. Oh, no kidding. Oh, no kidding. As a presidential candidate, Biden promised to make pariah out of Saudi, or blah, 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 blah. The Biden administration made clear Friday it would forego sanctions or any other major penalty against Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in the Khashoggi killing, even after a U.S. intelligence report concluded that the prince ordered it. The decision highlights how the real-time decisions of diplomacy often collide with the righteousness of the moral high ground. And nowhere is this conundrum more stark than in the United States' complicated relationship with Saudi Arabia, the world's oil giant, a U.S. arms customer, and a counterbalance to Iran in the Middle East. Also the petrodollar, which they'll never fucking mention. What is the petrodollar, Jimmy? So, if you want to buy Saudi Arabian oil, you have to convert your currency into U.S. dollars, and then you can buy the oil from Saudi Arabia in U.S. dollars. That's called the petrodollar, and that artificially props up our economy. So that's called the petrodollar. And what do we get out of that? What does Saudi Arabia get out of that? They get to use our military anywhere they want. Like right now, we're helping commit a genocide in Yemen. Okay. Ultimately, Biden administration officials said the U.S. interests in maintaining relations with Saudi Arabia forbid making a pariah of a young prince who may go on to rule the kingdom for decades. That stands in stark contrast to Biden's campaign promise to make the kingdom pay the price for human rights abuses and make them, in fact, the pariah that they are. Yeah, he's not doing any of that. Biden breaks campaign promise, approves sales to arms sales to Saudi Arabia. And he's going to buy oil from them, too. Saudi Arabia executes record 81 people in one day for terrorism-related offenses. Let's get to this. Saudi Arabia said yesterday it had executed a record 81 people in one day for terrorism-related offenses, exceeding the total number killed last year and sparking criticism from rights activists. Really? Oh, I'm so upset. All had been found guilty of committing multiple heinous crimes, the official Saudi press agency reported, saying they included convicts linked to the Islamic State group, Al-Qaeda, Yemen's Houthi rebel forces, or other terrorist organizations. The wealthy Gulf country has one of the world's highest execution rates and has often carried out previous death sentences by beheading. Those executed had been sentenced over plotting attacks in the kingdom, including killing a large number of civilians and members of the security forces, the SPA statement read. SPA said all those executed were tried in Saudi courts, with trials overseen by 13 judges, held over 3 separate stages for each individual, just like Julian Assange. The kingdom will continue to take a strict and unwavering stance against terrorism and extremist ideologies that threaten stability. That's what they're doing. It's all about saving you. It's all about protecting you. Saudi Arabia has been a target of a series of deadly shootings and bombings since late 2014, carried out by IS group extremists. IS group? Is that ISIS group? Or no, it can't be, because I don't know what IS means. Okay. The execution sparked condemnation from Britain-based campaign group Reprieve. Just last week, the Crown Prince told journalists he plans to modernize Saudi Arabia's criminal justice system, only to order the largest mass execution in the country's history. There are prisoners of conscience on Saudi's death row, and others arrested as children or charged with nonviolent crimes. We fear for every one of them following this brutal display of impunity. Saturday's announcement of 81 deaths marks more than the total of 69 executions in all of 2021. Up until Saturday, Saudi Arabia in 2022 had executed 11 people convicted of various crimes, according to the AFP tally, based on official announcements. This brings the total executed so far this year to 92. It's a lot of people for a small country. Saudi Crown Prince snubbed Biden's request to discuss the oil crisis brought about by Russia's invasion. So he's going with his hat in his hand, begging Saudi Arabia to... Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman recently rejected a request from the U.S. to speak with President Joe Biden about the oil crisis brought about by Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the Wall Street Journal reported on Tuesday. There was some expectations of a phone call, but it didn't happen, U.S. official told the Journal. It was part of turning on the spigot of Saudi oil. Wow. Before Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the U.S. imported a substantial amount of Russian-produced oil and gas, but Biden on Tuesday banned all Russian energy imports. In turn, Russian Vladimir Putin banned several Russian exports to the West. U.S. gas prices, which have risen in recent months, hit a new high on Tuesday. The U.S. and Europe are now hunting for alternative suppliers. One of those could be Saudi Arabia, a top oil producer. But in February, a week before Russia invaded Ukraine, the Saudis declined a request from the U.S. to increase production, as it could upset Russia. CNN reported Saudi Arabia and Russia are members of the OPEC oil-producing alliance. MBS's snub that's the prince, of Biden's phone call is perhaps not surprising. Since becoming president, Biden has made clear that he did not see the crown prince, the de facto ruler of the country, as an equal, and that Saudi Arabia was a U.S. partner, not an ally. Russia and Saudi Arabia, meanwhile, have strengthened ties. Oops. Oopsie, Joe Biden fucked that one up. I thought Trump was the moron. Turns out Joe Biden's the moron. But we already know he's demented. News of the snub came in the wake of the publication of a rare interview with the prince in The Atlantic, in which the crown prince made clear his view of Biden and the United States. He said Biden's keeping Saudi Arabia at arm's length would only hurt the United States, adding that it was up to Biden to think about the interests of America. When asked whether Biden misunderstood him, the prince said simply, "I do not care. That is cold, brother. The West will be ended not in fire, but in the withering dismissal and the painting my nails emoji." That's what's going to happen. The Journal reported that Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the leader of the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia's closest regional ally and a notable oil-producing nation, also declined the United States' request to discuss the oil crisis. Whew. After declining to speak with Biden, both the prince and the Sheikh Mohammed held calls with Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, the Journal reported. Evidence suggests Putin and the prince are close personally. They were seen on camera at the 2018 G20 summit high-fiving and laughing. You want to see it? Here they are.
High five. Oh my God.
Here, I'll watch it again. That's pretty close to a high five.
That's almost Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers and Predator. That famous high five.
I didn't see it.
That meme. That's like.
I don't see anything. There it is. There they are. They're all fucking shits and giggles, these two. And there's Trump coming in over here. Yep. Look, they're all giggles. They're all giggles. Little hand job under the fucking dais, huh?
Look at those little Kamala Harris's giggling away in there.
So there you go. Joe Biden's messing things up again. And Saudi Arabia just beheaded 81 people in one day. They're good guys. They're the good guys. They're on our side.
You know how they do that, right? It's not, I don't know if they mean modernize it. They're going to maybe move up to guillotines. But as far as I know, it's a guy with a sword.
It's a guy with a sword. Just does it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a cold-blooded brother, man. Hey, we got more dates for our 2022 stand-up tour. We're going everywhere. We're going to Dallas, Houston, Florida. We're going to Omaha, Des Moines, Pittsburgh, Columbus, Ohio, and Los Angeles. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all the tickets for all our shows.